And welcome to another edition of Guitar Tales. My name is Dave Cohen. Here we are in Season 2, Episode 2. This is the Night of Twos. And I want to take a minute right now to talk about our show, because as I was watching everyone set up, I want to talk a little bit about Riverview Studios. Leading up to every show, there's so much work that goes into it. And I thought we here at Guitar Tales should take a minute and thank all of the fantastic staff here at Riverview. We have people working the sound, people working the cameras. We have an intern behind the camera I'm looking at right now, who's laughing right now. We have sound people. We have direction. We have friend of the show, publicist extraordinaire Scott Engel, and his much, much, much better half, Aaron, here in the studio. There is so much work that goes into the show, and I just wanted to express my true gratitude for all the people who just bring a lot of love into the building, because that's going on everywhere right now. There's just a lot of love, and people are really caring about each other. It's a wonderful thing. This is the second show of Season 2. We are thrilled that we have more guests lined up. On December 10th, we will be taping with Matt O'Ree, who toured with Bon Jovi. That's very exciting. I think he sat in Richie Sambora's role with that band. But right now, I am absolutely thrilled that we have with us, as you know already, Dan Neary. We watched his amazing guitar playing. We're going to take a deep dive into Dan's life. Dan, thank you so much for joining us.
How you doing, man? Thank you.
We are absolutely thrilled to have you.
I appreciate it. I really do. I really do. This show's awesome. I'm very happy to be here.
We are
looking
so
forward to talking to you.
We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. Dan went through so much to get here. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah. It was a replaced belt to get here. It's the life of a musician. But as anyone who watches the show knows, we have to get through something first, and that is 6 Degrees of John Bon Jovi.
Okay.
All right. So the rules of the game are real simple. There is some connection between you and John Bon Jovi. I need you to get us there.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. How do you get there?
It's pretty simple. My father's girlfriend,
Okay.
Lori, from Saraville, she went to high school with him.
Wait, hold on. Are you going to talk about Club N.A.?
I could talk about Club
Oh, no,
N.A.
I thought that's what you were going to say. Go on.
No, they just went to high school together.
Oh, really?
I think they were maybe dated in 7th or 8th grade or something along those lines, and she just knew him growing up, so it's my connection right there.
I think it's 1 degree.
Is that?
You know her, because how do you get closer unless you know him directly?
Yeah.
You know her, and she knows him, so you're 2 degrees. So you're a solid silver or maybe bronze. I think you're silver.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So you were in a very, very successful band, The Event Horizon.
Yep.
Okay. We watched you play before. You're going to be one of those guests where I don't want to pick up a guitar because I'll be too intimidated to do so. I want to take a dive into your life. So are you a full-time musician? Do you have a day job?
I do have a day job. I work for the county government, actually.
What county?
Middlesex County.
Okay.
By day, and by night I'm playing all over the East Coast here. So.
Oh, really? So you're not limited to Jersey?
No, we play anywhere from New York, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. We play a big college bar out there. We actually get flown down to Florida a few times a year to the Hard Rock Casino down there. So,
the one Seminole?
Hollywood, yeah. Seminole, Hollywood.
I've been to that.
They just rebuilt it. That's like the big guitar building that they been advertising everywhere.
I was just in Florida, and I think I saw it.
It's cool. It's definitely interesting. So, but yeah, we travel all over the place. So.
Well, I got to say, you're a little different, because what we've seen so far is, we've had like guest 2, season 1, show 2, episode 2, Big Daddy Abel, full-time musician.
Yeah.
No day job.
Yeah.
And he's working, the same sort of region that you're talking about. We had Brian Mackey on, who also, that's all he's got. So my question for you, and today is such a great example, and they don't know why you're laughing yet, but so you were a little bit late today. Why were you late today?
I was coming here in a rainstorm, and the belt, my alternator belt, flew off my car. I don't know if it's because I had my wipers on, my heat on, my lights on. Everything was just overworking itself, and
Right.
I got a little sidetracked.
Your belt popped off, and you guys did a roadside repair.
Yes, sir.
Dad came over.
Yeah, he came and got me out of a jam. So
Wow, that's something. So you have these challenges. So when I hear about someone a full-time job with the county, that's a 40-hour-a-week job, right?
yeah, right.
So how do you fit in? Flying all over the place. So, I would imagine each job creates stresses for the other.
To a certain extent, but I mean, I gotta admit, I'm very lucky because even when I first started music, trying to do full time, I was always working jobs, dead end jobs, things here and there, warehouse jobs, and getting out at 6, 7 o'clock at night, and then going to a rehearsal. I mean, I'm very lucky to be with the county, and just, it's like a 4 o'clock, I'm out. I get a lot of days off, vacations.
Okay.
They're very understanding. So.
But that's still you're going to get there 8:30?
Yeah.
All right. So if you're gigging till 1 or 2 in the morning.
Oh, there's plenty of those nights. There's plenty of nights I'm coming home 4 o'clock, but 3 hours sleep, 2 hours sleep, and going to do it. But I mean,
and so far it's working for you. But that's interesting. Scott's in the studio. Scott has a full-time job, and he gigs probably 40, 45 gigs a year, I would guess. He can run out of the back room right now and say you're wrong, Dave, but I think I'm right. He's listening right now. But so how many are you gigging that many times more than that?
I'd say we do probably 2 to 3 times a week, and then in the summer it's 4 or 5 times. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday nights at Bar A, Beat the Clock. Probably.
You're probably pushing over 100.
Probably close to 200, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, when summer's in, oh my gosh, yeah, it's busy.
So that's a big commitment, and you're out of state pretty frequently.
Yeah, we do even like Atlantic City a lot. It's an hour and a half drive. So, but you know what? I'm very lucky to be doing it, and to get 4 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, but to be doing what I love, I mean, and just all the people you meet and everything, I mean, it's a real great experience,
So you seem like a very positive guy.
I love to play, man. It's the same as when I was 16 or 17 starting out. I still feel the same when I'm on stage. Just love being up there, love pursuing music,
Right. Well, this is cool. And you know what I love about an interview like this? So about a third of the guests I've known to a varying degree. I never met you. I don't know you. So I love to take these deep dives into, people's lives.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess low 30s, something
31.
like that? Okay, there you go. So how old were you when you started guitar?
Seriously, or just started
Casually.
in general? Probably 13.
Okay.
But seriously, about 17, 18, like right around end of high school, started getting into.
All right. And are you a Jersey guy?
Yep.
So what was your first guitar?
Man, I don't even. I'm trying to think. It was like, I think it was a Craftsman. It was a Fender knockoff.
Like a Sears Craftsman?
I don't know. It was from Rondo Music, I think, in Union. It was a knockoff Strat.
Right.
But it was actually, you ever see a mini Squire, a mini
Yes,
Strat?
yes.
It was that. It was, I don't even know, half scale or.
Which is good for smaller hands in the beginning. Although senior high school, you probably didn't have smaller hands, but.
Well, that was about 12, 13 when
Okay.
I guess I kind of was growing into it. But
Right.
then I went to a Fender Squire, like a full size, about.
Like a real Fender?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when did you start gigging? Like, did you do it in high school at all?
Yeah, I did. I remember I did the talent show one year, and then my senior year, I played with 2 bands at the talent show, and I thought I was the coolest guy ever.
Now, So did that work for you? So, or better yet, let me back up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I picked up guitar solely because I thought it would make me cool.
Okay.
There were insecurities all over the place. And somehow that sort of filled a void or put me in a slot that I thought I could find myself in. Were your motivations more about love of music, or were they more social in the beginning, in the very beginning, if you were to be fully self-honest?
Well, let me backtrack myself here. I think it was for the love of music. You know, I got to give some credit to my father first of all, because he got me the guitars. Obviously,
Is he a musician?
he he'll say this himself. He's a hack bass player.
Okay.
So, but you know, in the '70s, he was doing the same thing as me. You know, starting out just doing cover bands, playing Foghat and
Right.
just all these, you know, Van Halen, all these classic rock bands, and I mean, he taught me "Smoke on the Water." That was like
everybody's first song.
The first song, and I remember I was like 12 or 13, and some kids came and they're like, "You want to come play outside and play baseball or whatever it was?" And I was like, "No, check this out." And I showed them "Smoke on the Water." They're like, "Okay, we don't really get it, but."
Now, did you learn it as a one-string song, or did you actually learn more than? Like I learned it. I just hit my mic. I learned it just on the E string. That's how I learned it. Did you learn it better than that?
I learned it on the E string, but then I got into the chords, and I mean, I don't even know if that was the first song. I remember it was David Bowie, "Hang On to Yourself," just stuff he grew up with. He was kind of.
My college band did that song.
That's a great
Bowie.
tune.
All right, now here's an interesting. Let me hear the bad way to play "Smoke on the Water" and how you would do it now.
Oh gosh.
Let me hear 13-year-old you.
I mean, if you want that, it's.
Let's start with 13-year-old you.
All right.
Oh, I like the way you messed up the rhythm a little there. All right, now let's hear it better.
I don't even know if I'm playing on the right thing.
Yeah. Now, is that a song you guys would do now?
No. I wish we were, but it's all top 40 stuff. You know, it's popular music, probably 80s up, 80s, 90s up. You know,
Right.
real radio friendly stuff, and that's what gets people moving.
No, it is. We've had so many talks on the show. I mean, the last show we did that's about to drop any day now, we were talking about the challenges of being in a cover band, right? And whether you're going to solely play for your own personal, selfish, artistic needs, or whether you're going to try to selflessly make the people who come watch you be happy.
Yeah.
Do you feel that struggle ever?
Absolutely. Every night I play, you know, it's definitely a tough. It's tough, you know, because I would love to be going out there doing Van Halen and doing all these, but people. Well, first of all,
you don't dance too much Van Halen.
It's not even that. A big thing about the Event Horizon is we do a lot of medleys. People's attention spans are so short. People are on their phone nowadays in the bar.
Right.
So we'll do a 90s rock medley with 10 songs in 10 minutes, maybe even more. Yeah, just one into the next, and it seems to get people all taken by surprise with just hanging out and interested all night.
That's a clever idea. So when
a lot of bands do that, but I mean, it's almost like a DJ, you know, a live DJ band.
So maybe I'm not exaggerating. Your conflict, your artistic conflict, is not even necessarily I want to play my own stuff, but I would rather play different stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you still derive joy from playing.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you make it your own too. You know, you can take a new dance song and throw a lead in it or whatever it is.
So you guys, your goal, if you're playing a popular song, you don't feel the pressure to make it sound like, say tribute band style. You're going to put your own spin on it?
Yeah, I think so. I think within the cover band scene, I mean, to do it exactly like the record too, I mean, you want to bring some life into it, you want to bring some feel, you want to make people feel what you're playing, you know, and sense that passion, sense how much you're into it, how much you enjoy it. I think that goes a long. If you're just standing up there, playing, sitting still, it's definitely I don't know. I think about that a lot. I really do.
So what are one of your favorite songs that you feel like you've put your own style onto? Give me an example of one.
don't know. I really don't know. I'd have to think about that.
All right. Do you guys play like really old stuff?
No, it's a lot of current stuff, you know. Man, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I really don't know. This is totally on the spot, everybody.
Oh, that's okay. It's all good. But that's an interesting thing too, right? Because there's so much in that brain of yours. Like what do you have? Like you guys could probably do what, 3-4 hours?
Yeah, usually it's a standard night. I mean,
So your set will have what, like 20, 30 songs or more?
easy, yeah. Well, when we do the medleys, I mean, it's probably there's 10 songs in one 10-minute medley. So I mean, we might be doing 60, 70 songs a night.
That's a lot, and that's a lot to be swirling around in your head.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's muscle memory though. Once you start doing it, but you're asking me this now. It's like I can't even think like.
I think that's
a
interesting.
song we do. I'm like, yeah. I don't.
No, like, look, I'm a lawyer, and someone might say, "What's your favorite case you've handled in the last 30 years?" And I would do what you did, right? There's a million cases that I'm very proud of as an attorney I've handled, but then suddenly it'll be a swirl, right, of all sorts of different cases that will just pop in my brain.
Right. Yeah.
And they won't necessarily get to me. Now, at this level, do you guys have to practice all the time? Or, you know, we've had guests on the show who will say that playing is usually our practice because we're playing so much. Do you guys have to practice, or are your gigs your practice usually?
Our gig is our practice. I mean, if we're doing like a wedding or a certain event where maybe trying to get new songs for every couple months, we'll do a rehearsal. But I mean, it's to an extent. You know, with medleys, we were gonna have to rehearse that stuff. We were just learning a standard song for the night. We could do it on the fly. You know, I mean, everybody's accomplished. Everybody,
Right.
you know,
Now
we
what?
just kind of have that understanding to let's do it.
So your band is the Event Horizon.
The Event Horizon. Yep.
Okay. So what's the lineup?
Our singer, which actually Bon Jovi story.
Okay, you got another one.
I can relate that if you want.
Yeah.
It's not even that. He knows David Bryan, keyboard player,
Right,
and
right.
Lexi. I think Lexi, right, his wife, and they know Bon Jovi. So, but Henry's our singer, Henry Robinson. He was in. He's been doing this for 20, 30 years probably. He was in Lifespeed.
Right.
He was in the Love Pumps, Love Lies Bleeding, doing the New Jersey scene for. He knows the ins and outs. So he's our lead singer, and he actually plays bass on a few songs.
Okay.
We have Meg, and she is our female lead.
Okay.
And we have LJ, and he's our bass player, but
Okay.
he also plays guitar, and that's when Henry plays bass. So it's
right.
a little confusing.
Right.
Multi-instrumentalist here,
Okay.
you know.
And are you sometimes the only guitar player on some songs?
Yes.
Okay. So it sounds like usually, right?
Most of the time, yeah.
And that gives you more freedom but more responsibility, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. It gives you more responsibility, but it allows you to kind of make it your own, you know.
Right.
And T's our drummer. I can't forget him. So.
Oh, you would have got in a lot of trouble today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you know, we do, you know, I don't have a song in particular, but a lot of the newer dance stuff is where you could really kind of make it your own.
Now, will you guys make it a little more rockish?
Yeah, to an extent. We don't try to do it too much to where it's just like every dance song is just a chugging riff and just kind of like rocked up, you know. We try to...
Because that would be self-indulgent, I guess, right? Right.
Yeah, the metal band. The metal dance band. So.
But your bass, or the center of your playing, to me, seems to be blues oriented.
Yeah.
I mean, from what little I've heard so far.
How I learned. I mean, when I even going back to like when I was younger, again, my father. I mean, he got me into so many old school 60s, 70s, even 80s. A lot. It's funny. I'm actually, anybody you know will be like, you're totally born in the wrong era, hair metal. You know, I'm totally into like Skid Row and Dokken and all these guys. But I think a lot of that, especially the 70s, 80s hard rock, it starts with blues. You know, it's just kind of.
Right. And then, do you think that your dad was
it.
a heavy influence on you musically, like in terms of style and what you appreciate?
Absolutely. He took me to see. He said, I don't even know exactly when I started, but like 10, 11, 12, that era. But I saw Kiss when I was 9. It was their reunion tour, and that opened my mind to a world of, I can't even tell you, man. I was Continental Airlines Arena. I'm walking around. I knew the music. I never saw them in the makeup, and there's an overpass to get to the arena.
Right.
And there was fans dressed up in makeup, screaming, guys, girls, and I thought I was at the circus. No idea what I was about to see. And say what you will about Kiss, because people give them a bad rap, but that whole spectacle of live music and that show, it was just. That changed my life, That
really,
made
that's
that made
pretty
me
cool.
want to do music, yeah.
Let me hear. What's your favorite Kiss song that you play?
I don't even know. Probably Black Diamond. Set up, but
That's cool. That's cool. So let's talk a little bit about this guitar. I'm loving this guitar, and I noticed. I don't know if we can get that in, Monica, on the camera.
Yeah.
You got your little, you got your nameplate right there.
That's the eBay special there. Yeah.
Oh, really? Is that how you do it?
Bought it on eBay. Yeah. They custom engraved it for me.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I would have thought that this was some kind of special thing, but it's still special.
It's personalized.
All right. So you, I learned from Scott, you're a Les Paul guy.
Yeah.
What draws you to Les Pauls over other makes and models?
Well, to go back to the first guitar, the Fender Squire or Strat that I learned on, that was my first guitar, 1990. My first real guitar, maybe 1998. Right. This was my second guitar.
Really?
So I think I got this in 2001 or 2002, and you can see.
I love how beaten up that is. Yeah, look at that. That's fantastic.
That's real, man.
I also noticed you had to re-drill your hole for your
This is a workhorse. I don't even care if it's not pretty, man.
All right, so you've got 2 different humbuckers on there. Is that a Seymour Duncan?
Yeah.
So you got a Seymour Duncan here. Is this stock?
That's stock at maybe a 498 or 500. I don't even know what it is, but
Right. And I noticed you got it flush there. Is that on purpose, or is that just the way it came?
It was trying to kind of balance it out, yeah.
Yeah.
Balance out the 2 pickups.
And then this guy's very close. So you want that for the bright sounds because you got that adjusted really high.
That's my lead. That's my lead sound there. So, but yeah, this is really the guitar I learned.
That's fantastic.
Learned solos and really just started learning.
So I'm guessing if you got it young, you have parents who really love you that your second guitar was a Les Paul.
I saved
Not
up.
Even you bought it?
Yeah, I was maybe 12 or 13. I remember.
How the hell did you save up for this? So when you're 12 and 13, this is at least $600, right?
Yeah, I think it was $550. It was used, but this was like probably $1,000, $1,100 new.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
The guy I bought it from picked it up and just never got into it. And I remember South Plainfield. I think he was showing me a Puddle of Mud, how to play. I think She Hates Me or something, and then I started playing it and. At that age, I was just an open book, everything. Yeah. I learned Sweet Child of Mine on this thing, just like so many memories, and it's a beater. I got cracks in it. I cracked the neck. I changed the tuners. I changed the bridge.
So when you replace these, are these Gibson or are they something else?
They're Grovers.
Okay.
The Gibson ones, they pop off. They
Grovers,
get old.
That's a high-end tuner.
Yeah, I mean they're standard. They're nothing special. They're not locking, but they don't give me any problems. This is my main guitar with the Event Horizon. It's been my main guitar in every band I've been in.
And then the pots, those aren't original. The color looks a little weird. Did you replace the pots too?
Yeah, I put different knobs, and the pots have been changed so
cool.
many times. I get so much dirt in there with everything.
That looks original. Your nut's probably original, right?
It looks
kind of pristine. I don't know.
Might have been replaced once or twice, maybe. Yeah, I think it was replaced once. But
your toggle, you don't have your little plastic cover on your toggle.
It fell off, and I just
That's cool.
It's for this is my Ace Frehley trick to do the.
I've never seen that. Oh, we were talking about before the show. I said the Steve Howe swell, and you were talking about an Eddie swell. With
Oh,
the
yeah,
let me see a little bit of that
I
with the
can't
volume.
do that, but it's the whole cathedral thing. But I'm not even gonna,
Oh, just give
I'm
it a
not even
shot.
gonna play that up.
You play your own thing. Just give me a little swell.
I try to
He's gonna.
I try to incorporate some of that stuff live, like
Let's
just
see.
solos and stuff. Just like
There you go. That's cool. Very cool. There you go.
just little,
That's
little
great.
little intricate stuff to make it your own.
So is it just sort of happenstance that you end up moving from Fender to Gibson because you bought this, or was it, you're thinking of?
I know you were talking about that as far as the why I'm a Gibson guy. I mean,
Is it just life took you there?
I think so, but I mean, I always looked up to Slash. Always looked up to like Joe Perry and all these
Right.
guys. So they're all Les Paul guys.
Right. And then you got a Les Paul here. Let's see. I think yeah. These are the other two you have with you. So can I?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. There we go. After I smash your guitar. So what's this? This is a heavy guitar. So this is a Les Paul Deluxe.
Yep. It's
a little more pristine than the other one.
Yeah, I don't play it.
Oh really?
I do, but it's a backup. It's actually it probably has a better tone and sound than this, but the feel on this one is everything.
This
for me,
is really heavy. This is a very heavy guitar.
Yeah, I'd probably be hunched over a little bit more if I was playing that primarily.
Now, are these original pickups in here?
Yeah, this is actually a 2015. It's not
Really?
Even. It's made to look like a 76 or 77 Deluxe.
I mean, if these are humbuckers, they're really narrow.
They're mini humbuckers in there.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say they're almost as narrow as like a P90.
You could actually put a P90 in that guitar.
Oh, really?
They supposedly pop right in. So yeah.
But that would be anathema to what Gibson is, because I mean Gibson is all about the humbucker.
Yeah.
So what is the deal with this? You just have it as a spare, or is it a special guitar to you?
It feels similar to this, I bought it recently, actually. I just brought it because it looked cool, but
It does look cool. It does. I love the idea of these little retro-looking pickups.
yeah, no, it's excellent. You know what? It's more of even a few songs I just use it for a different sound, and it actually has.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can make it a single coil.
Oh, is that what that does? That's very cool.
Coil tab? So yeah.
And then this is just going from one pickup to the other.
That's actually a boost.
Oh no, here we go.
Yeah,
right.
that's your normal talk. This is actually like a dB boost, decibel boost. So it gives it a little kick for like leads for solos.
All right,
But yeah, you could do some really cool sounds with it. You could almost make it sound like.
Oh, they both do it. So
Yeah.
either pickup can go from humbucker to. All right, that's very cool.
You get it sounding like a little Fender Telly-ish if you want. So that's kind of like the jack of all trade guitars. But
No, that is cool. And then unlike that, no, you do have a pick guard on both. Yeah.
yeah.
But emotionally, what is it that has you playing the old guy more than the young guy? If anything.
I mean, for me, it's just the feel. I'm so comfortable. I could play it blindfolded,
Right.
And it's funny. I mean, not even that one, but I bought. This is a 2001 Studio.
Yeah.
I've bought and sold like 3 or 4 2001 Studios. I put the same tuners, same,
And they don't play like that.
and they're nothing alike. It's just a. Gibsons are very. You got to try every one.
No, they're all going to vary.
Yeah.
I mean, for years, I had a 78 Strat, and it was nothing special, but I had people tell me they had never played a Strat as good as mine.
Yep.
There was just something about that particular one that I
believe
owned.
you too. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a piece of wood, and my guitar tech, he was telling me that every piece of wood in the rainforest or wherever it comes from, depending on how much humidity, how much water, all that.
It's all
comes into
different.
account. So.
And then just the neck, the feel of the neck, and that's a much lighter guitar than the other one, right?
Yeah, you feel that it's.
Oh yeah, that doesn't feel very. I mean, it doesn't feel Gibson-y in that
No,
sense.
this is actually a Studio too. That's that's a deluxe, more getting
So
up.
this is a lower model than that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it a lot of people are going, why are you playing that? But I mean, it just
No, it
just
sounds
does it for
great.
me. And it's a workhorse too, man. Being in bands, 200 shows a year. I mean, I don't want to I don't care at this point what this thing looks like, you
But
know?
do you get nervous? Because now that guitar, it's becoming more special for you,
Yeah,
right?
I know. I had a crack here, and I got scared, and it's just a surface crack. I thought it
Okay.
went all the way through. So.
But even like if you're between sets and it's sitting there on stage in a stand, do you get nervous if someone's going to lift it off you or if it's going to fall? Because every further gig you play, that thing becomes more important to you.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I do. I
All right,
think about it.
I just ruined your night.
Not playing anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Neary goes away. Neary guitar. All right, let's talk about this guy here. So finally, it's not even, it's sort of stratish.
It's a super strat.
It's a super strat. This thing is cool. So let me try to get that on the camera here. So that's very cool. Now, did you get this paint job done on your own, or did it come like this?
I bought it that way. I know the story on it.
Oh, I'm going to hear.
So it's really, really similar to a Kramer. And if you look up Kramers, they have the same type of paint schemes, airbrushed. Guy Dennis Klein did it. He did it for Kramer. He did it for this. Did it for Charvel.
Okay.
And this guitar was made in 80. I think it says it on here. I don't know.
Here.
It should have his 1987.
Oh, that's an old guitar.
And it was made in New Jersey at I think it was Garden State Music Center in Toms River, and they did custom guitars out of there, and they called them Custom Dreams.
Oh, wow.
And it was, I think it's I don't know if it's a Charvel. It might be a Chandler body and a Chandler neck. And Paul Unkert made them, and he did a guitar for Eddie Van Halen. He's an amazing luthier. Just.
And I'm looking here. You're doing the same thing on this that you did on that guitar. You got your humbucker back here. It's all but touching the strings. That's great.
Is it really?
Yeah, and then the same thing, and your neck humbucker is flush with the body. That's pretty cool. So you get a sort of a deeper sound from that. And
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, like, whether it's this guitar or this Les Paul, I mean, I'm not even a big pedal guy. I try to do as much as I can with what you have here, you know.
Right.
As far as.
Now, what's your rig over there? Is it just all fixed?
That's like a casino rig. Okay. More so than anything. Like a lot of the casinos are playing Bally's or Hard Rock or whatever. Sometimes they have a back line, but a lot of times you're bringing your own amp. So that's kind of the smaller thing. But I'm a big all tube, you know, tube head, 50-watt tube head, 50-watt Marshall, whatever. And
so you're old school.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And I bet that comes from your dad too, like having that kind of attitude. Like an old school attitude.
Yeah, I mean, it even goes back to Kiss, man. Just seeing a rock band like that and just that whole spectacle. I mean, I remember I was 19, 20. I was doing my own cover band, and I wanted to make like the rock cover band playing.
Right.
You know, just big stacks and everything, making it a show, making it a tribute, and I don't know. That always stuck with me. I think that really followed me through with, and now sound guys hate me if I bring a 100-watt amp along.
Are they used to smaller amps?
Yeah, I mean everything's so much is digital. People bring in little boards, digital boards, and it's not the same, you know.
It's not good. I haven't even looked at your amp. Let me see how far I can go with my mic here. Let's see. So you've got. I'm just dragging my mic.
Yeah, you're all right.
So that is.
It's an Ignator.
Thank you, because I could not pronounce that. So what is that now? So tell me about that amp.
That's just
that looks beautiful. That looks like an old school amp.
Yeah, it's actually I think it's just made to look vintage.
Right.
It's a 15-watt tube amp.
It's 15?
Yeah, and that's it cranks up pretty good though.
So you got a 12 in there, or two?
Yeah, 12, just one 12.
So I've never heard of a 15 with a 12-inch speaker. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the guy. Bruce Ignator designed that. I mean, he's like a guru with that stuff. He's been doing amp mods and things for years, and it's good. They call it an Ignator tweaker because you could tweak it. You could get a Fender-y sound, a Marshall-y sound, and it's perfect for what I do. You know, I feel like more of like the workhorse. You know, with the guitar, with the amp, just.
So is that loud enough when you gig to just mic it and you're good to go?
Absolutely. I mean, being mic'd, you know, that's why guys use little.
Well, like the Fender Princeton.
Yeah.
The old tube champ amps.
I remember, I think Jeff Beck was using a little. I don't know if it was a 10-inch speaker or a 12-inch speaker. It was a little Pro Junior.
Right.
And the thing is this big, you know.
Yeah.
And that was actually, I think it was like behind the drum set and behind all the Marshalls and everything. He had a little Fender tube amp.
Yeah.
Just cranking.
But they say that the little Fender tube amps are on half the albums we've listened to.
Exactly. Yeah, I
You know?
believe that. You know.
Like Jimmy made the Marshalls famous, or the Sons actually also. But
Yeah.
yeah, the little Fender.
Yep.
You know, even smaller than the Twin. Like not the Twin Reverb, but just those little guys.
Right. That's the Blues Junior, the Pro Junior.
Yeah. The Princeton.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So now, do you have a lot of amps? Like you have a lot of guitars, or is that?
Yeah, I kind of become a gearhead and just try different things. And
So what other
know,
amps do you have?
my main amp, I tell everybody this.
Yeah.
No, you're not gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. It's a B52.
Okay.
Now that was a Guitar Center special. Like they brought it in. It was all import parts. It really wasn't high quality.
Right.
But it was all tube. And I took it to Dennis Kager in Lou Rose Music, and when I was maybe
Where's
six.
Lou Rose? I know Lou Rose.
It closed down, but it was right by Sam Ash and Edison on Route
Yes.
27. It was
Yeah.
a couple blocks from there, but that was a mom and pop store, and it
Yeah.
shut down. He worked in the basement. They had an amp repair shop, and he was the guy. He's been working on my stuff for 15 years, so.
Okay.
But that B52, it was probably the best buy I did because I still use that amp today.
So what do you have? What kind of speaker do you have in there?
Vintage 30s. It's a
Okay.
head, and then I got a cab. So.
Okay.
But it's 100 watts. But he upgraded it. Transformers. I don't even know. I'm not even that into that side of it. I mean.
Right.
But
that makes up for what other people use, a lot of pedals and boards and MIDI and all that kind of crap.
I always go for a decent gain, you know, and a wah pedal, maybe a phaser, a tuner pedal, and
Right.
just very simple, straightforward rock and roll, you know. So.
And what other kind of amps do you have?
I have a Marshall JMP from 79, 80, so yeah, that thing cranks. But it doesn't get the same bottom end, you know.
Right.
And that's a brighter amp, definitely.
No, they're known for their volume more than their subtlety.
You gotta crank the hell out of that to get, you know.
Right.
That's the
Now,
problem.
will you experiment with feedback? Will you put your guitar in front of the amp to get a little bit of that?
Every now and then, yeah. It's I don't know. It's different with a cover band too, you know. It's you get freedom, but you don't. And I mean, I've done original bands too when I was younger, and the cover band is I'm blessed to be doing it because it's just a steady gig and just getting to travel and see the world and do casinos and getting flown places. It's even weddings and things like that. Like it's this whole other life, you know.
Right.
That a lot of people wonder about and don't get to see. And
so now, when you're on stage, what does that feel like for you? So you know, like let's take like a Wednesday, right? So you're working for the county. You know, you're gonna wear your like khaki pants and your like button-down shirt or whatever you're gonna wear all day, right?
You got it. Yeah.
You probably have your hair pulled back a little bit. And you're looking conservative,
looks odd
right? And you're just some dude, right?
Yep.
And then you go home, you grab a quick dinner, you hop in your car. Hopefully your fan belt or your some other belt doesn't pop off.
Tire doesn't fall off.
Tire doesn't fall off. And you go to a gig at the Jersey Shore, let's say. You get on stage. What does that feel like for you? Because and the reason I ask is that I heard two things from you, right? So you come on and you truly are organically filled with gratitude about this life.
Absolutely.
But you also talked a little bit about the fact that you have that struggle, you know, that you're not necessarily playing exactly what artistically you might want to play. But now you're getting on stage. And I really believe that you just approach your whole musical life with gratitude. It was, you know, there was nothing feigned about that. It was real.
Yeah.
So tell us about that feeling you get when, you know, you've had that full day at work at the county.
Well, there's definitely a release, first of all, you know, because you might be stressed out or whatever your day brings you. But once you're on stage, I mean, it's everybody in that band. You know, you're professional. You drop it. You go out on stage, and you're on the clock essentially, but you're also doing what you love to do. So I think there's there's definitely some gratitude there too. When it comes and goes because we do bar A on Tuesday nights. You're saying Wednesday, Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights are unbelievable in the summer. It's 21 to 25-year-old kids all just having the time of their life there, into the music, into the DJ, into everything going on.
So you feel the energy.
Absolutely, yeah. But you go into the winter and it's absolutely dead. But at the same time, now you're playing what you want. You get to have a little more leeway. You know, you can take more liberties. You're not so much onto this song into that song into that song. And I think every experience is a little bit different. You know, even every gig. I don't feel like I have the same gig twice, you know.
That's very cool. Because I will tell you this, you know, if it were someone from the outside looking in, they might say to you, how can you derive that kind of pleasure from it when you're playing, let's say, the same or a similar set list, you know, multiple times. But I would guess that each gig would feel different because you might play it a little differently. There'll be different people in the audience.
Yup. And
you're in a different mood.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, you take some stuff with you on stage too. You know, it's interesting. You know, I really mean that. I feel like I don't have the same gig twice, but I don't know. I feel like I lost my train of thought.
Oh, that's okay. So
go back to that because I had
no, it's
to
cool.
say.
It's cool. So you're gonna, you know, you might play the same things frequently.
Well,
but at the same time, the energy that you're going to draw, I would guess, is going to make it a different experience each time.
Yep. And we play with the crowd. You might have a birthday. You might have just somebody who's getting married, or they're having their
or a bachelorette party,
or they're having their after party there, and or it could just be a drunk, fun night down the shore or whatever it is. But I mean, and we really try to get the people into it, and when they respond, when they react, when people are just watching you. And I feel like that's a big thing about the band, and we have people watch us, you know, and that's, I'm giving it my all. I mean, we all are, and we're sore, we're sweating, we're doing whatever we're doing.
Well,
but
you're hitting a theme that I've heard from so many folks as recently as our last show that we did our roundtable on, is that the best of the cover bands take their job seriously.
Yep.
And I like one of the things you said, which is that whatever has happened in your day, you're going to leave that behind, because when you get on that stage, you have a job to do.
Yeah.
Right? You know, you have a responsibility, you have accountability to the folks you're in a band with, right?
Yep.
And then you have a responsibility to the people out there who, you know, they have their own issues.
They're there to see a show too. Yeah, they might be, you don't know what could happen in their life, and you might make their night that night, you know.
Right, or you could let them forget about their day. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why they're out
right.
at a bar. So, but you know, also playing things differently, but playing with in-ear monitors too. I was kind of against that at first because I was so used to a monitor shooting up at you, but hearing myself so much better has made it a lot, you know, more enjoyable to play.
That's interesting. We haven't talked about that on this show yet, and I don't know anything about it. I know, you know, I have much less experience than you do. But you know, I've played with monitors, and I've played when you can't hear yourself, and it's horrible.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you have your, depending on what kind of rack system or hookup you have. I mean, you have your own mix. On a little wireless pack or a wired pack.
So tell us how it works. So.
I really don't know too much.
Or tell me what you experience, forgetting how it happens. So you have much like our
wireless. I have a wireless
like
receiver,
one of these guys, right? But a wireless one.
You hook on.
Right, and then you've got like an earbud, like an Apple earbud-ish.
Or whatever. They have higher quality ones. I actually do use Apple earbud ones.
Oh, really?
They're fine. Yeah.
And then you're going to hear a mix that's custom made for you.
Yes, you have a board, a rack, and each of the wireless receivers are in that rack, and it's all on an iPad.
Really?
Or some type of device there where you can tweak everything. It depends what your hookup is, you know, what your setup is. But they have everything now. Our sound guy, the sound guys now walk around on an iPad and mix everything. You know, that's
really?
like what it's come to. Yeah, it's crazy.
That is really interesting.
But having that mix and being able, every room's different, being able to turn the lead vocals up a little bit or turn the bass up, it's definitely come in handy, because we use our own sound guys sometimes, but you're at the mercy a lot, and it's a good thing to have.
Well, you made a comment earlier that surprised me from my ignorance, is that, yeah, I mean it, is that sometimes you'll go to a gig, you're not bringing your amp.
Yeah.
They're going to have an amp waiting for you.
Yeah, yeah. That's more of the casinos, mostly.
Okay.
I mean, that's more of like you got union guys, it's a union gig, guys on the clock, and they have a backline. Sometimes you can't touch the stuff, they just want you to plug in and...
So you'll have can you put your own board in there?
Yeah, I mean, you could touch the amp, but they don't want you moving and plugging in two 12 cabs to it and everything. You could bring your board. It makes life easier if you get something that works,
But
once
do
you
you
get
like it? I mean, are you?
I don't mind it because, I mean...
Plus the carry.
Yes, and I mean, half these things, a 100-watt amp, and a 412 cab or whatever is overkill,
And it's heavy.
Yeah.
And when you get to be my age, your back won't tolerate that. So, yeah, but that's part of the day in, day out of being in a band like yours. So part of you, I would think...
It's a whole other world of it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, part of you would love to bring the amps you love, I would think. But
Yeah.
part of you is like, all right, thank God I don't have to carry my fucking amp, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So now, do you guys?
I feel like you kind of learn. You learn
Yeah.
how these gigs go. You learn what to expect. You just with experience. And
I
now.
think I would imagine if you're going to like a gritty bar, you're bringing your own stuff. If you're going to like more, like I'm sure the Hard Rock, you're probably not bringing your amp to that, right?
No.
And they'll have a very sophisticated setup, and there's sound people waiting for you.
Yep. It's very
Orchestrated, I would think.
yes.
Now, do you guys do you have any originals you mix in?
No, we're strictly a cover act. We were talking about working out that, but I mean, it's odd, because going back to the thing and playing the summer versus the winter. I mean,
Yeah.
you might be playing a night at a packed bar with people who never heard you, people who want a certain country crowd, a dance crowd, a rock crowd. So it's kind of hard to navigate. And I think that's why we throw a lot of these medleys out to kind of see what works.
Right. And then if you have 70 songs, I would imagine you guys are pretty adaptable.
Yeah, well, we have more than that, but just on a typical, we're doing essentially 30 songs a night, but just these medleys make it more.
Right,
But I
right.
mean, we have a country medley, hip hop medley, an old school rap hip hop medley, like 2 or 3 rock medleys, an 80s arena rock medley, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, all that. So, and then we do full songs too. We've all been in this game. I mean, I've been in 15, 20 cover bands probably.
Wow.
That's a whole other thing. When I was like 2021, I got in my first.
You got to fly.
Did I get it?
I think you did.
My first cover band, and that was the whole rock thing I wanted. I actually ran that cover band when I was like 21, and I was booking us for $300-400, and I thought I was on top of the world, and managing it, going to bars, putting up flyers, trying to get them to book us, and I worked my way up to the Event Horizon, just starting to fill in with people, starting to get my name out there, and I played with guys twice my age. When I was probably 3 times my age, I was 21. I'm playing with 60-year-olds doing Led Zeppelin, but that's what I wanted to do and kind of get schooled that way, And a lot of dingy bars, a lot of dive bars.
It's good stuff, but you just smiled when you said that, which is cool.
Yeah, it was.
Now let me ask you this question.
I look back at it.
It's cool. So as we sort of wind down,
Yeah.
what is on your personal wish list, musically speaking? You're in a great place right now. You're in a fantastic band. I did my YouTube search of you guys. You're fantastic. So you could do exactly what you're doing forever and probably lead a wonderful life. But do you have any specific dreams, goals?
I'm always kind of in and out of original music, but I mean, the whole scene is so tough around here.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to get to a point where I have a studio and I'm just able to make music as I go, as I please, ideas, and not even just originals, just ideas,
Right.
songs for commercials. I don't know, just things I think of, riffs, instrumentals.
And you've got the skill set to be a studio guy too.
Yeah. Well, the next thing on my my site.
On your event horizon.
Yeah, don't tell. No, I've already told our singer that, but I've been looking into like tribute bands, the next level, you know, and I mean, there's these guys. There's one band. They're called Hairball, and they're you know, 80s full wig, but tribute. They make like, I think they make like 20, 30 grand a night.
Wow.
And they're all over the country, you know, and they don't play that much. I mean, Almost Queen, you probably heard of them.
Yeah.
They were at their level, and once that movie hit, I mean, they're selling out everywhere now, and those guys are living a great life, you know.
We had Chris Cologne on our show, who's been in Beatles.
I saw that one. Yeah, man, that tribute is where it's
fascinating because the level of detail that you need to achieve to match, because there's no flub in anything, you know.
Yeah.
You're using the same thickness of pick. You're using the same.
Right.
If they have an Eminence speaker, you're not putting an Electro Voice speaker in there. Like it's everything.
It's down to yeah.
It was fascinating to me.
There's a whole world of that, you know. A whole world I don't even know about, but I mean, you see bands even in Vegas. I mean, they're playing all over the country, and that's something I could aspire to do, because I feel like playing 200 shows, whatever it is, you know, 2-3 times a week, that wears yourself out.
Right.
You know, I can't do that till, I don't know.
Well, you got a great gig going now.
Yeah.
I got to tell you.
I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate you having me here too.
Oh,
this is awesome.
This has been great.
I'm a little nervous, but
you didn't sound nervous.
Stressed out with the.
Drink your whiskey. You're good.
I need it, man.
Well, listen, it's been great having you. I'm going to shake your hand. You've been fantastic.
Thank you.
How do we find you guys? Event Horizon. Just go on Facebook.
Yes, eventhorizon.band. That's the website.
Eventhorizon.band. Okay.
We're on Facebook.
Right.
My handle is @the Dan Neary. That's for Instagram and all that stuff.
Right.
And I think my website is.
Didn't you have danneary.com or something?
It's dannearyguitar.com.
Okay.
And that's got actually
Neary.
Neary, and that's got that's got music I've done in the past, original bands, everything, dates, live dates, all that stuff. So.
All right. Well, if people watch this show, they know that they're going to want to see you. So listen, thank you guys so much for watching again. Don't forget, if you like the show and you enjoy the show, hit subscribe, share it with your friends. We have more great shows lined up. I said at the outset of the show, we've got some fabulous stuff coming forward. We have Matt O'Ree scheduled to tape December 10th. Won't necessarily drop that then, but come watch it. Check out our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and we will see you again in the near future. Thanks again to Riverview Studios and publicist extraordinaire Scott Engel. We'll see you soon. Take care. Good night.